All right, welcome and welcome back. I'm Anthony with Where's My Cashflow, helping you better manage your money. If you find that you're always broke at the end of the month, then you definitely want to do one of my audits to help you get on the right path. Link to that to my website is going to be in this video's description. All right, so another Kevin Samuels video. So I'm going to break down. It's going to be a longer clip, so I'm going to be talking. I'm going to pause, talk a little bit, and carry on. If you think your situation is bad, there's always going to be someone that's in a worser situation. And I mean, so this is a caller. You're gonna hear his background and story, like compared to yours. If you know you're in a rough spot, it's usually someone in a more funky spot. But I'm gonna go ahead, let it play, pause it here and there, give my commentary. You let me know what you're thinking about this person. I mean, just maybe you were in this position before, but what advice would you give to somebody that was in this position? But I'm gonna go ahead and get it started.
I guess in the midst of this pandemic, I was working two jobs. One which prior to the pandemic, I had the opportunity to be, um, let me rephrase it. I was spoken to by the executive director at my local YMCA, and I was asked to basically look into going into the position of the athletic director for that specific branch.
Question, please.
Yes.
What's the question?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The question is basically, during this pandemic, I had two jobs and dropped off from the one. The second job basically is in I guess you call it a gig or a side hustle of mine, something I'm passionate about. And I'm trying to branch out from that. What's the best way to branch out from, I guess, my side hustle into my actual...
Where do you live?
Atlanta.
Who do you live with?
My mother currently.
That's how you get the fuck out and branch out. You get out of your mama's house.
Okay.
Because you're going to tell me about pandemics and everything else, and what you're telling me is I got half a job and I live with my mama. And it ain't got shit to do with no passion. You don't get a passion.
Okay.
How old are you?
25.
You don't get, you can have a passion at 50. You don't get a passion. You need 2-3 jobs.
Okay.
All right, so I'll say I disagree with him in a lot of the points that he's making. In this situation, it all really depends. I guess because he's probably getting a sense of the way this guy is talking and the rambling. It seems like, I don't know, but it really depends on what your situation is, because it is possible to be in a situation like this and then try to work on some things. But Kevin is really good at this, because as the story goes on, it just gets worse, and it's just like, oh wow.
And a shitty apartment, a beater of a car, and a girlfriend that goes along with that. You need ramen noodles, Kraft mac and cheese.
So anyways, so he's talking about for his position, forget the passion. You need a bested up apartment and all the other stuff that he was talking about. My advice to someone in that position is, don't get, especially how it is now. It's not, if you don't have children, and because this person is 25, if you don't have children, then you don't need to get a full apartment by yourself. It's actually better, because you got to manage those expenses. It's better to room share with somebody, maybe like a big old townhouse or a duplex or something like that, where you just share the rent with somebody else. You still kind of got your own space, but you don't need it's, unless you're making the money, it's better. You don't need to spend the money if you don't have to, is basically what I'm getting at. Swallow your pride. Like, you don't need to have your own space if you don't have a family to take care of. Like, why just give out the money like that? Room share with somebody.
Bologna, 10-pound bag of fries, and get out your mama house. That's why you used all them words.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if I guess he mentioned it, but yeah, living at his mom, so he's telling him, leave your mom's house and go get your own spot. Maybe like decades ago when rent wasn't so expensive, but nowadays, if you don't have children, why, like, I understand, of course, the freedom and stuff like that. Like, I did the same thing, but just looking back, manage your expenses when you're going up. If you don't, I mean, the rent really should be less than a third of your income. And I go off of the net, not the gross. So whatever is deposited into your bank account, the rent should be no more. Rent and utilities should be no more than a third. If you can find something that's decent for that amount, then okay, get your own place. Most likely it's gonna be in some hood place where you don't feel comfortable in. It's better to find a roommate and then get a better environment so that you have like peace of mind when you do come home. You can kind of relax from all the working that you're doing to build yourself up. That's what I would recommend.
Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm 25, living in my mama house, half employed, right?
Yeah.
And what do we call that?
What value?
No, I said the world calls that, a man at 25 living at home with mama, the world will call him a loser.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm waiting. Well, I guess that doesn't matter.
Would you call them a loser? I'm curious what you would say. A man that's 25 living at home with his mama got, I think he said he's working like, I guess it's part time. Actually, you know what? I guess the answer it is obvious. But what would you call that person? Maybe you'll say something different.
But I'm waiting to.
And there's no wait, bro. There's no wait. There's no wait when your mama paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
You have a girlfriend?
No.
When was the last time you dated?
I don't have one right now.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you. You can't have one not worth a damn. And see, this is where a lot of black men fall apart. I don't know where these passion thing, your passion. Who told you get a passion, man? I mean, seriously. In the pandemic, I live here in Atlanta too.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of jobs. And you working one? Half of one?
So would it be a bad decision right now to try to start, I guess, the entrepreneurial route?
Negro, hold on. Okay. Do you have a degree?
Yeah.
In what?
In sports management.
Is that a 2-year degree?
No, it's 4 years.
4-year degree. But what can you be an entrepreneur and you've done nothing?
All right, so this point I really disagree with him on because I study entrepreneurship. I've seen too many success stories where it's possible. I'm actually gonna leave the link to a YouTube channel where this guy just talks about the everyday person that was working a job. Maybe they got laid off, maybe they got fired, or maybe they quit, and they started a simple ass business. And they're making millions. All their companies are making millions. I'm going to drop the link. So look at this video's description. I'm going to put it in there. And it's amazing. If you have the discipline and the willpower and you're just observant, you can start a business. Just because you wasn't in the industry before doesn't mean you can't be successful. It's been proven too many times. You just got to have a strong work ethic. And you got to be disciplined and you got to go get it. If you got that mindset, then hey, you can handle it. I don't know about this guy because he seems kind of like unsure of himself. He doesn't seem as confident. The guys that on the channel that I'm talking about, I guess after some time they kind of develop their confidence. But some of them are like really young. One of them, I remember it was a story about this. It was a 16-year-old that wanted to be a hauler, and he started at 16, so he had to get his learner's permit, and then he went to go get his class. I forgot what it was, like right when he turned the legal age, and then he started talking with other people. Hey, can I haul this? Like this dude was hustling, and I'm just like, and now he's a millionaire, and I think he's like 22 or something like that. So it is very much possible. You just gotta grind. You gotta be. You can't be average for sure. So what he's saying here, I guess he's trying to apply it to the common person, but it really is possible. But most people don't got it in them to hustle that hard.
See, entrepreneur is another word for fly by night. You've done nothing. What does your resume look like? What's the longest you've ever worked for one company?
The longest would be a year and a half, and that was cut due to.
And how many hours were you working at this company?
In total through a week, I want to say about maybe, I'll say 36, depending on the other job as well, because I was working both of them at the same
Okay,
time.
so you haven't even had a full-time job. You've never held full-time employment. So how do you go from not having full-time employment to entrepreneur? There's no free money.
Mm-hmm.
That point is a good point, because if you don't have the discipline to find work and stay there, because there's always jobs, and be working that many hours at least to cross 40, entrepreneurship, you're going to be working more than 40. But maybe it's just the interest is there, that's going to be a factor as well if you're interested in what you're doing. But I see that point that he's making, that Kevin is making right now. But once again, it just all depends on the person.
There's no get rich quick. You need to go to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Burger King, Big Lots, Kroger. You need to go pick up whatever shit job you can to work. Grab.
Yeah, because right now he's not working full time, so he's just working part time. So yeah, if I had a client that was like in this specific situation, you got your side hustle you're trying to build up on, you're gonna need the capital, you're gonna need the money. You don't want to rely on gig economy. I've done it. It's just too stressful. If you're not working full time, get the two jobs that can fund your bills, and then also your side business. And then as you start to grow the side business, or maybe you might drop it off, but whatever, as you start to grow, once you get to a certain threshold, like your number that's consistent for like 3 months, and you're pulling that in with your side business, that's when you can really start considering, okay, I'm gonna quit the one job and then focus more time on the side business.
Your balls and become a man. You gotta get your own place, dude.
Room share.
Turn off YouTube. Get in the world. Because you can't. Okay, dude. No. You're still trying to think of ways to not do it. You want to do it. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's what it is with a lot of you young guys. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's hard. That sounds like work. So should I do it this way? No, you should get your ass up tomorrow and go get a job. Because you're on the channel of an image consultant, right?
Yep.
I talk about men trying to become the best version of themselves, get themselves into the top 10% of men. And dude, you haven't even got into manhood yet. Your mother needs to put you out. Because there's nothing wrong with you. You're a physically healthy 25-year-old man living in your mama house. So to tell me you don't have a girlfriend because you're focusing on your purpose, that's some YouTube bullshit. You need to get out of your mother's house and go to work. You need to be gone by November.
So even graduate school then?
Oh man, I'm tired. Negro, no. Graduate school in what, man? You still want, okay, go into more debt for sports management, which is going to do what? It ain't doing nothing now. You still, see, this is why I push back. A lot of guys go to grad school. All this grad school stuff is trying to delay becoming a man. Grad school just is another 2 years for you to hide. What are you so afraid of, man?
I guess I'm in my own way, so I sneak up on my way.
No, what are you afraid of, though? I mean, at 25, you got to know that you can't even. I mean, 25 years old, you got a key to the house?
Yeah.
All right, but at 25, you should be out taking charge. And you look hella comfortable in that house. Working part-time. There's no way you should be able to come to your mother's house with a part-time job and sit down comfortably. You should be ashamed to come to that house that way. Your pride should bother you. How much you paying in rent?
Not.
Huh?
Not.
Say what?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, so living at his mom part time and he's not paying rent. I mean, you could kind of make your own judgments on that.
You have a car?
Yes, sir.
Who bought that?
I pay half. My mother paid the other half of it.
Do your mother have a boyfriend?
Not to my knowledge. Well, technically, but not
So
really.
you're a son boy. So you're a son husband.
I remember you spoke about this in a few episodes.
Shit. Yeah, you had to let him go. Let me know what you think. Your thoughts. What advice would you give if someone came up to you like that with that situation? How would you handle it? What would you tell them? Do you agree with kind of how Kevin was breaking it down, or do you think it needs to be more lenient, more leeway? Let me know your thoughts. Comment section down below. You already know what to do. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Like this video if you found it valuable. It actually help you give you some insight, and then share it with somebody that you think could really benefit from it. They would appreciate you, and I would appreciate you for sharing it. If you need help with your financial situation as far as just managing your money, then take a look at my website. You can see how I can help you there with my audits. So till next time, I'll catch you in the next video.